Sorry, Phoebes. I just wanted to do a good deed, like you did with the babies.
This isn't a good deed. You just want to get on TV. This is totally selfish.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What about you having those babies for your brother? Talk about selfish.
What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, it was a really nice thing and all, but it made you feel really good, right?
Yeah, so?
Well, it made you feel good, so that makes it selfish. Look, there's no unselfish good deeds, sorry.
Yes, there are. There are totally good deeds that are selfless.
Well, may I ask for one example?
Yeah, it's, there's... No, you may not.
That's because all people are selfish.
Are you calling me selfish?
Are you calling you people? Yeah, well, sorry to burst that bubble, Phoebes, but selfless good deeds don't exist, okay? And you know the deal on Santa Claus, right?
I'm gonna find a selfless good deed. I'm gonna beat you, you evil genius. Hey, Joey, when you said the deal with Santa Claus, you meant...
That he doesn't exist.
Right.
Have you ever received an unexpected favor from a friend, only to feel compelled to return the favor? Maybe someone helped you move into a new apartment, and you felt the need to take them out for dinner as a thank you. This is reciprocity at its best, a kind gesture sparking a chain reaction of kindness. On the flip side, have you ever felt pressure to return a favor because you felt obligated, rather than genuinely wanting to? This can lead to resentment and even damage the relationship. It's essential to recognize the difference between genuine reciprocity and forced obligation. When we give or receive with an expectation of repayment, it can create an unhealthy dynamic.
Altruistic behavior is often costly as it benefits others at the cost of the actor. Based on the argument that generous and helpful behaviors are founded on altruistic or empathetic motivations, why would humans perform or engage in costly behavior?
The norm of reciprocity is a fundamental social rule that shapes our interactions and relationships. It's the unspoken expectation that when someone does something for us, we owe them something in return. This concept is so ingrained in our culture that it's almost second nature. But have you ever stopped to think about how it really works? Many people struggle to find the perfect balance between giving and receiving in social situations. Some of us are natural givers, always looking for ways to help others, while others are more reserved, only giving when it's absolutely necessary. But what happens when we give too much without getting anything in return? We start to feel resentful, taken advantage of, and even angry. On the other hand, when we receive without giving back, we can feel guilty, ashamed, or even indebted. This balance is tricky to maintain, and it's easy to get caught up in the fear of being taken advantage of. We might start to question people's motives, wondering if they're only being kind to us because they want something in return. This fear can lead us to put up walls, protecting ourselves from potential exploitation. But in doing so, we might also shut out the possibility of genuine connections and meaningful relationships. As we navigate these complex social dynamics, it's essential to recognize that the norm of reciprocity is a two-way street. We need to be aware of our own giving and receiving patterns, making sure we're not overdoing it in either direction. By being mindful of this balance, we can build stronger, more authentic relationships based on mutual respect and trust.
The reciprocity argument and resultant theories have commonly been flaunted as good enough motivation for people to be altruistic. But what happens to reciprocity when the benefits are low or they don't exist?
If we take a look at some of the nice things that people have done for others, we'll come to a quick realisation that most human interactions are rather positive. So why are people nice? Maybe because we feel the need to be nice. Seeing images of starving children when we're at home eating dinner makes us feel guilty and anxious. In order to get rid of that guilt and anxiety, we donate money to the charity that helps to feed the starving children. Helping people in need makes us feel good when we think about the amount of joy that our help brings to those in need. We know that sometimes people even risk their own lives to save others. The Underground Railroad was a network of secret tunnels in the United States used to smuggle slaves out of southern states of America during the 19th century. Levi Coffin, a wealthy businessman, was an active leader in the Underground Railroad. He risked his life and helped thousands of slaves to escape to freedom. Oskar Schindler risked his life to save the lives of over 1,000 Jewish people in Germany during World War II. What makes these people different from the rest of us?
In some African communities, when someone receives a gift, they're expected to reciprocate with a gift of equal or greater value. This creates a sense of mutual respect and balance within the community. However, it can also lead to an emphasis on material possessions over genuine connections. In contrast, some societies prioritize selflessness and altruism, encouraging individuals to give without expectation of return. This can foster a sense of community and social responsibility, but it can also lead to burnout and exhaustion, if not balanced with self-care.
The cost signaling theory suggests that altruists give benefits to others as a show of quality or being caring towards others. Human altruism, especially in dating contexts, signals the willingness to be a good parent, at least from an evolutionary standpoint. An alternative argument for why people look for altruism when it comes to dating is, just like the peacock's tail, it is a costly display of resources and abilities. Although people use generosity strategically for mating purposes, the proximal mechanisms associated with generosity, mostly empathy, have to be existing in an individual. Altruism is important in mate selection, especially for women and in the context of long-term relationships. Basically, women prefer altruistic men, although altruism interacts with physical attractiveness. Women find altruistic men more desirable than those who are not. Non-altruistic men are deemed to be more desirable for short-term relationships, while the opposite being true for long-term relationships.
One powerful story that illustrates the impact of reciprocity is the phenomenon of free hugs that spread across the globe a few years ago. Strangers would offer hugs to strangers, with no expectation of payment or reciprocity. It was a beautiful display of human connection and kindness, and it sparked a wave of similar initiatives around the world. The norm of reciprocity has the power to shape our personal relationships and societal dynamics. By recognizing its influence, we can foster deeper connections, build stronger communities, and create a more compassionate world.
Those who were willing to risk their lives to help others had parents who taught them to be empathetic, and they were taught how to take the perspective of others. This is a skill that parents can teach their children.
The willingness to confer benefits upon others is a demonstration of mate value for both men and women, but it holds especially true for men who could use generosity to strategically signal good character in dating situations. As a side note, being charitable towards strangers is associated with extroversion and openness, while donating an organ is associated with agreeableness.
The empathy altruism hypotheses, we also sometimes offer help because we feel empathy for a person, because we feel bad for a person. And then we will attempt to help this person purely for altruistic reasons, regardless of what we personally gain. So the moment we feel empathy for a person, we feel really bad for a person, we want to offer help, regardless of how it makes us feel. And that's basically sort of the answer to the dilemma that Joey and Phoebe were talking about. Is there something like a selfless good deed? Yes. The moment you start feeling empathy for a person and you deeply care, then you want to offer help regardless of what's in it for you.